Richard Branson is launching the Virgin Galactic Commercial Space Flights project. A ticket costs $200,000, and without wishing to state the obvious, only extremely rich people can afford that sort of money. Richard Burr, who lives in the English county of Norfolk, is one such person. Although he is only in his 50s, he has already retired from his successful career as a property developer. He is number 205 on Virgin Galactic's waiting list of 529, and, with 6 passengers travelling each day, he hopes to get his turn soon. The first flight will be taken by Richard Branson and members of his family. We asked Richard Burr to describe the journey.
We will be obviously strapped in, and the White Knight 2 carrier aircraft will take us and the spaceship up to 50,000 feet. We'll be travelling approximately 150 knots, at which point they will release us. And then shortly after that, the rocket motor will be fired and we will be pushed back into our seats with a force of about 3 to 4 G, and we will go vertically up to the altitude of about 63 miles, which at that point we will become weightless, be allowed out of our seats to float round the cabin and just take in the beauty of the Earth and the total experience of the entire trip. So it's going to be a very interesting 5 minutes.
So when did his fascination with space begin?
As a child, there was a TV programme in England called Thunderbirds, and that was one of my favourites at the time, and that was pure science fiction, and that was the beginning of it all. It was an introduction to travelling off the planet, and from that point onwards I've always had a very keen interest on anything vaguely bizarre, interesting and out of this world.
And he's certainly looking forward to the big day.
It's very exciting, it will be very exciting, that so few people, when you consider the 7 billion people living on the planet, and only 500 plus have already been into space, and I will be within the first 1,000 human beings ever to have stepped off this planet, is very humbling.
But how does his wife feel about it?
My wife was not overly impressed with my decision, but she understands that a man has to do what a man has to do. I don't have any children, so I'm not damaging anybody's inheritance. And she will come with me to New Mexico to watch me go, but only reluctantly.
And is he himself a bit nervous?
Yes, I think as I get closer, the reality of anything new that is so powerful and of such altitude, obviously there is a risk, and I'm fully aware of that, and I think everybody would be aware of that, and they'd be daft not to be aware of such a situation where you're using so much flammable liquid and going out of Earth's atmosphere, which is technically the human's comfort zone.
So if this year will see commercial flights into space, what's next for humanity?
The next thing that the human species should learn to achieve is actually peace. There's no point in us spending all this money, having all this fun, if we can't all live in harmony together. There is just too much war, famine, hunger, trouble. Otherwise we will become extinct at our own hands.